Hello, hello, hello. Oh, hello there, everybody. I don't know why I keep doing that voice every time I go live. I don't know what's going on. What's up? What is up, everyone? What is up? That's on, that's on, that's on. Lights are on. Okay, cool. We're good. We are good. Sorry I'm a bit late. I had a phone call I had to take care of before going live. It is Friday. I have a bit of a stomach bug, so we'll see how long the stream lasts. We'll leave it at that. How's everyone doing today? But let's get started with some fun stuff. Everyone likes helmets. I don't have the visor. The visor is like a 20-hour print, and this finished at like 3 in the morning last night, so I wasn't going to start a print that would have taken throughout the whole stream. So I'll print the visor after stream ends today. Yeah. This came out so good. This helmet came out so good. Like, it actually fits perfectly, too. That was a really good print. I'll show you some close-up images. It's an astronaut. It's a medieval helmet. I don't think an astronaut helmet would have all this detail on it. Like, there's some... I think there's, like, fake gashes in it, like, damage. You can see in a few spots that are part of the model. The only thing I noticed looking at the entire model was this right here. There's this little itty bitty area where you could see it like slightly under extruded for like that little bit on 2 layers. That is like the only defect I see. Oh, there was support, by the way. There was a bunch of support. Support came off beautifully because it's Prusa built-in support. That was the only that's the only defect I see in there. Is just that, and this is a thin model. There isn't a lot of meat to these bones. And there's the top if you want to. Where's the top? The top's right there. So yeah, this came out so good. This came out so good. And then I also printed this guy, which is, this was also on the SD card, little dragon, or the USB drive. It's a little dragon print, water dragon thing. I also printed in the marble because it was already loaded. So yeah, that is that. I am pretty happy with this so far. So what I'm thinking today is the first thing we're going to do is every stream we give away a spool of Polymaker filament. Link in the video description. Enter for your chance. We'll be doing the draw at the end of stream today. And so you're going to want to enter for that. Don't fall over. So we're going to do that. So go scroll down, video description, enter there. If you are interested in getting a Prusa of your own, Prusa does have a Black Friday sale going on right now. A bunch of other stuff. Check them out. Link in the video description. And then also, there was something else and I completely forgot. Did I use adaptive layers? It was pre-sliced. It's G-code that's pre-sliced on the machine. Today, what I think we're going to do, I'm going to unload the filament here. Filament. Unload. We're going to do a couple things. One, we're going to install this. Prusa sent over, along with the printer, full disclosure, Prusa sent the Core 1L to me. They sent over this. This is their active filtration system, I guess. So they already have fans on the back of the machine. This adds a filter. It's a reusable or a replaceable filter, and also an active fan, which I'm assuming the fan is there. Yeah, it's just a standard blower fan. But I'm assuming they have this fan here because the filter needs more active pressure to overcome the... you need more suckage to overcome the blockage, if that makes sense. And I know some people wanted to look at the inside of the electronics. So I figure we're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. What we're going to do is we're going to spin the printer around. We're going to install this. I'm going to give you guys, we're going to open it up. I want to see what the electronics look at. I want to see if it has the same electronics board as the Core 1, or if there's anything different, because this has a mains bed. I want to see what's different for electronics. We'll also plug this in, hook this up, and then what we're going to do, we're going to test it with ABS today. We're going to put an ABS print on it, or ASA print, whatever. And we're going to see how toasty the chamber gets, because I'm pretty sure we have a chamber thermistor. Yeah, we have a chamber thermistor built into the printer. If you don't know where it's at, the chamber thermistor is right back here. So what we will do is one, I'm going to put the top back on. I'm sorry, guys, for the fans in the audience. I'm running my printer topless right now, and this is a PG stream, so we can't be having that. So I put the top back on. That goes on so much nicer now. So yeah, so what we'll do is, I think this is the instructions for the filtration system. We will spin the printer around. We'll get the active filter installed, hooked up. We'll take a look at inside the printer so we could see how it looks inside the printer, because you guys want to see what it looks like inside the printer. I'm gonna go see if I can find that piece of cardboard I used to spin it around. Where is it? Is it in this box? I don't know. Where did a piece of cardboard go that I used to spin the printer around? Huh. I'll just use this piece of cardboard then. So let's unplug it. So printer off, unplugged. Put that filament down here. We'll take this filament out. Also, it's really nice for the filament unloading. For those that don't know, the Prusa NG code does a retract, and the retract is basically enough where it pulls the filament out of the hot end. So when it cools down, you can just pull it a little more and it retracts. So it actually works pretty nice. So you don't have to like go through a whole process of heating up to unload it. So that is pretty nice. SSR, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm assuming it's an SSR. Oop. Let's not grab the sharp pointy thing. That is much easier to spin around with a piece of cardboard under it, not gonna lie. Okay. So let's move all this stuff over here. And then what we're gonna be doing tomorrow, the tomorrow stream, the Saturday night stream, is we're gonna be working with the Venture XL. I cannot get the Venture XL printing good. I don't know what's going on with it. We're gonna do the shake and tune and all that jazz tomorrow, I think, on the stream, because I really got to get the Venture XL printing good, and I cannot get it printing good, and I don't know what's going on there. So this is the back of the printer. Behold, the back of the printer. So let's see what the actual instructions say here. Advanced filtration, Core 1. Pro instantly produco navas. Okay, I don't speak Czech. Does it have a built-in accelerometer? I think it does. I mean, you can only do whatever the Core 1 filtration. Okay. You can only do whatever Prusa lets you do with it, because it's, you know, the firmware, unless you modify the firmware. A bunch of people were saying it has it built in. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I think it does, though. There we go. Why is this in Czech? English. There we go. In assembly. I think it does, but I would have to confirm that. The prints look good. I mean, if this is what's coming off the machine, I'm good to run tests later. I mean, if I think it does, a bunch of people are telling me it does. Check the stat sheet, check the spec sheet. If it says it has it, it has it. I'm sure it's on a spec sheet somewhere. Yeah. How much does it weigh? It is half a kilogram lighter than a Core 1. I know that sounds funny, but it's half a kilogram lighter than a Core 1. These panels, they do not. Okay, so we got fish, 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 fish. Oh, fish. 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 No fish. Fish. No fish. No fish. 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 So that's why it's lighter. It's less fish. Okay. This guy will take you through the installation of the advanced filtration for your Prusa Core 1. Cool. That's what we have there. Cool. We're going to need a 3mm Allen key. We have the key of Allen here. Did it come with the kit? I don't know. I should have probably grabbed all this stuff. I'm actually disappointed the kit didn't come with it. I mean, the printer came with Allen keys, but the kit for the thing didn't come with it. And I think I put them somewhere. I don't know where I put all my Allen keys. I gotta find them all. Anyways. Lighter means less fish. It doesn't come with a fish either. Although I think actually, I think they still have it for sale. Yeah, you can still buy the fish. These are hand painted in Japan, apparently. It is a fish. One person bought it, gave it a 5-star, and wrote nice. Apparently they got these in Japan. They bought a bunch of them. Yeah, it's an expensive fish because it's a Japanese fish, and they're hand painted. Yeah, it's called a gag item. A lot of websites have a gag item. If you want to spend $58 on a fish, you can spend $58 on a fish. Nobody's forcing you to spend $58 on a magnetic fish. Look at this beautiful hand-painted mackerel. I think it's a mackerel. I don't know. It's a fish, and it's got magnets in it, so it can fish. Okay. So we're gonna need some screws, which I have them here. Got that there. Next. Okay. So insert the blower into the filtration cage with the air blower facing to the grid. Okay. So I think we have that already, because I think it came pre-assembled. Yeah. So that's that. From underneath, the hole isn't threaded. Oh, so we have to screw it in. Ooh. Okay. So we have to screw that in. Get these out. It's not the fish that Homer accidentally ate. That's what you're wondering. Okay. So ensure the blower cable is positioned at the top and not trapped underneath. From underneath filtration, align any hole with one of the blower. Secure the blower fan with an M56R. The hole isn't threaded, so the screw will cut its own thread. Okay. I'm looking for one of my Allen keys. I think they're on the other side of the garage. 1 second. Let me walk over to the other side. Where is my... Oh, here it is. Over here. There we go. Okay. One. How is the helmet? It's right there. Yeah, I showed it off at the beginning of the stream. It's also in the thumbnail. It came out really good. If you're watching on YouTube, which you are, because I only stream on YouTube on this channel, you can scroll back to the beginning of the stream and see the helmet. Let's make sure you come back. There we go. Okay. So that is there. Do not over tighten. Okay. Yeah, you're screwed into plastic, so you don't want to over tighten. Got to make sure the blower is blowing out the correct location. So that's all good there. Okay. Oh, and we put the cable out here. Oh, that camera is going to be useless right now. Okay, so you are going to come out this hole here. There is no grommet, so you do want to be a little bit careful you don't strip that on there. Then, oh, we have our little foam gasket goes in there. Yeah, so we're good there. We got our little foamy gasket. Okay, so that's good, that's good. Then we put, that goes this way. And then Design for Prusa by Prusa Research by Alveo 3D. So I don't know if you can, this is a pre-assembled unit and it does have activated charcoal in it. So there's charcoal in there and then there's also filter. Don't know how expensive these are. I don't know how expensive these are. Okay, so now we put the screws in and we do not tighten them all the way. Okay. Oh, they're hex screws. Wonderful Prusa hex screws. Better get out my lttstore.com trademarked screwdriver set here. The TR8, TR10s. There we go. Get them started. Can't remember what prices though. Yeah. If you plan on printing a lot of ABS in like an enclosed environment, this is something I would recommend. Like enclosed environment, I mean like in your house. If you plan on printing a lot of like a plastic that does release fumes, this would be something I'd recommend looking into. If you're somebody like me who most of their printers that do print with the noxious stuff is outside, like in my garage here, I don't really think these are like really required kind of thing. It's like one of those, it's a nice to have thing, but I wouldn't like, you got to push it on too so it seals. There's like a foam gasket around it. Okay, that's that. That goes on, tighten all 4 screws. Okay. So you do have to be aware that this adds to the thickness. So if you cannot get down with the thickness, and by what I mean by that is, you need to have room for this. So for example, the printer itself is approximately, you know, we'll look at the frame, not the door handle. So frame to frame is 460 millimeters, about 18 inches. Adding this adds another 3 inches to your printer. So let's see, where are the feet? Where are the feet? So if this was on a 24-inch desk, you're still good. You're still good. This will sit on a 24-inch desk still. But my shelving unit here is, let's see what we got for a shelving unit, is approximately, oh, no, 24 inches. We're good. We're good. So I won't have issues with this sticking out too far. So this is more compact than the Mark IV's enclosure still. This is still, like, it's taller, but it's not as wide and it's not as deep as the Mark IV's enclosure. That's kind of funny. Can't do that. By the way, this is why we're doing this now, so I have an excuse to open up the printer. Oh, look, we have to open up the printer now. On the inside of the printer, remove the 2 M3 4 RT screws holding the back cover. On the back of the printer, remove the top cable from the printer. Release the So, oh, okay, this is different because this is showing a Mark IV, a Core 1. That's a Core 1. I have a Core 1 L. Do they have a separate guide for this? Useful links, printable parts, printer maintenance. How to replace hot end assembly, hot end fans, side, advanced filtration, Core 1 L. Carl. Okay, so I'm assuming hopefully most of this is the same. Yeah. Okay, so we go through all this. This is all the same. Mount it on there. Okay. Okay, locate the Wi-Fi module. Use an Allen key, remove the Wi-Fi module. Okay, so let's remove the Wi-Fi module. Okay. The filter is $44. Straight from Alveo, it's $34. Okay. It makes sense. It says it's from Alveo. Make sure not to bend the connectors when removing. Okay. I think that's a captive screw. So the Wi-Fi module just comes out. So if you, and you know what? Here, just because I'm sure some people want to see. This is the Wi-Fi module. Hopefully there's nothing on here that really matters, but this is the Wi-Fi module. Okay, so that's your Wi-Fi module. Okay, so if anyone wants to know more information about it, there you go. Oh, and there is an Ethernet under here. There is Ethernet here if you want to plug in Ethernet. Okay, remove the Wi-Fi module. On the inside of the printer, use the 2.4 Allen key. Remove the M34RT screws that hold the electronics cover in place. Only remove the highlighted top screw in the middle. Do not touch the lower screw. Okay, so the two top screws. So let's go do that from the inside. It's dark in here. I'm scared. I'm scared. Okay, try not to drop these screws. Use the cover there. So remember, it's the top screws, not the bottom screws. The bottom screw is silver, so don't accidentally undo that. And hopefully the panel doesn't fall off when I undo this. Oh, I heard a panel fall. I think it just moved. Yeah, it just moved. Okay. So undo those. Okay. Pull slightly downward and release the top of the dock. Yeah, carefully. Okay, so it just kind of slides out. Okay, so. Oh. By the way, this isn't a warranty void if removed sticker, just so you're aware. Okay. So there are our electronics. So we have quite a bit to look at here. This is all pre-assembled. This whole box is locked in there pretty solid. This is a prefabricated component, and it is metal. And there's plugs that go in. So I'm assuming this is the bed. Yeah, this is the bed. So this is your bed hookup. So if you want to see how, let's see. Oh, there we go. This is your bed hookup. So we got 5 wires for the bed hookup. And this is your power for your controller board. This is, it's not labeled. This is also going to the bed, I think. Where's this guy going? What is up in there? There's a lot of wires. So this is USB-C. So this is a breakout board. So that's CAN. So there's CAN. So you got all your fans are controlled on here. So you got fans, RGB, filament runout, temperature sensor. This is a different board, I think. This is the Prusa. Got this cover on it. Let me take this cover off. This is a different board. We're not doing a full teardown on this, by the way. If you want a full teardown on this, wait for Vector to get his hands on one. I'm sure he'll do a full teardown. So the NFC is mounted on this. So this board is the FDM Mark IV X Buddy, Rev 47, 2024. Okay, so it's Rev 2024. Okay, so this isn't a new board. This isn't a new board. Yeah, this isn't a new board. It's the same board because you still have the bed hookup there that's not being used, but they have, I think this is a newer brick. No, 2024 11. Yeah, so these are standard electronics. This isn't new electronics. They're just reused differently. Yeah, so this is standard electronics from the Prusa. So this is where your GPIO goes. There's a USB-C cable that goes somewhere, and I don't know where. Oh, wait, this is the USB-C for the camera. So this is just power. This USB-C is just power. Okay, that makes sense. And then we have our Ethernet. We got our NFC. We got a little battery here for keeping the clock. We got our motor hookups. We got CAN bus. So where is this guy plug in? Where are we plugging this guy in? So this guy plugs in right here. So there is a fan 3 port right here, and that's where we plug that in. Yeah, it's the same board, just mounted differently, and obviously you're not using the bed hookup, which means theoretically, you could use this to power something 24 volts with a bit of oomph. So I wouldn't, because I don't think it's really needed. But if somebody want to go faffing around in the firmware and add an active 24 volt heater to the chamber, there's a hookup. Because the bed isn't being used, so you have the bed MOSFET available and everything. Because there's heat bed in, there's heat bed out, it's not being used. We still also have an RGB LED not being used. Something else not being used. We have an MMU hookup not being used. And we have another CAN port not being used. So, yeah. Getting this out would probably be quite a bit because I don't see any access holes from the back here. And I don't see any screw holes from, I see one screw right here holding it. Okay, so there's 2 screws there. And is there a screw back here? Okay, there's 2 screws there. There's a screw behind here. There's a screw behind here. But I don't want to go. Oh, wait, is that an access screw in there? No. Is there any more screws holding this in? No feel. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think I can feel. Yeah, I'd have to take the side panels off. Because there's a screw. Okay, let's see here. So on the inside of the frame, there's a screw here and there's a screw here. I think the screws for here and here are inside, and I'd have to take off the side panel to get at it. Does the power for the bed come straight from the power supply? No, it's mains. It's a mains bed. The bed is mains. Okay, let's plug this back in before I forget. Yeah, the bed is mains. So this has a smaller power supply. The power supply, you can kind of see, the main power supply is only mounted here. Like it's a mean well. Yeah, it's a mean well. I can't see the voltage, but it is a mean well. So it's a mean well power supply here. Remember, the power supply only needs to power everything but the bed now. Oh, this is live? No, this isn't live. It's just a very, very, very good pre-recorded video with laced comments in the chat to prompt me to say things that aren't live, but now think it's live. Scott Peeler, are you a real person or are you a robot? Anyways, yeah. So if you want to see this come apart, wait for Vector 3D to get his hands on one of these, because I'm sure he'll take one of these fully apart. But I really don't want to, because I kind of want to get this printing. So let's go ahead and put this back together. So we're going to go here. We gotta put the NFC back on. Okay. So let's put this back in. Price is steep. The price is the price. It is what it is. Believe me, I'm assuming if they could sell it for cheaper, they would. But it is what it is. Okay, so this goes in right here. Okay, so you're gonna go there. Yeah, it just plugs right in there. And then we just kind of put that back in there. Okay. Easy peasy. So I'm just gonna it's gonna be a bit annoying. How did I get this to come out so easy? Oh, you just slide it in and then lift it up. Locks in, I think. Okay, that lined up perfectly before, I think. I think my NFC thing is not. No, that's. No, that's right. That's right. It's just. That is what it is. Okay. Slides in here and then up. Put our sticker back on. Now I gotta screw this back in. The Prusa come with a genuine, I don't know, maybe? Okay, let's see. Yeah, this is gonna be a bit annoying. This is gonna be a bit annoying, one second. There we go. Okay, hold you there. This is definitely a two-handed operation. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. Put those screws back in. Reinstall our NFC, which this just kind of goes right here. There we go. That screw back in. Room for a vento box air filter. What do you mean vento box? Like, are you talking one that'll suck the air out and then blow it back in? I mean, let's be honest. There's nothing here. The other side of this is just a panel. There's nothing on the other side. So if you wanted to take the exhaust from this and just kind of route it down and then back into here to suck air out of the top of the enclosure and blow it into the bottom and get a little thing going there, that would probably be pretty easy to do, because there is literally, this panel, you don't have a power supply here anymore. This is right, you could drill a hole right here into the enclosure. So yeah, you could, there is holes here because this sucks out and then it blows down. So you could easily circulate air back into the frame. You would probably want to get some tape and seal up the corners a bit better, because they are just sheet metal and there is gaps. They're not huge gaps, but there are panel gaps here. We're not talking like Tesla quality panel gaps. These are actually consistent, but there are panel gaps. So that is something. Okay, do that, do that, do that. Then we got to add filtration fan. Okay, starting the firmware, a new menu for that. Filtration to update, okay. Navigate, enable custom. The filtration options, idle mode, control temperature that, while printing, tune. Set to auto by default, which means it'll automatically activate depending on the material used. Okay. And I think that's it. That's it. Okay, so let's spin it around. We'll feed it some Gucci ABS or ASA. And by Gucci, I mean we're gonna give it some Prusa mint, because I have a whole box of it here. And we are going to print some ABS or ASA, and we're gonna see how hot this chamber gets. Because printing PLA, we know it can print PLA. We know it's a Prusa. We know it can print PLA really good. That doesn't really solve anything. Knowing that the Prusa can print ABS or print PLA is like, wow, fish can swim. We know that. We knew that. We know that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, the grill is open. The grill is open. So let's put you here. Let's power this up. Tell it we have active filtration. Printer on. Oops, 1 second. Okay, sorry, wife came home and I have a package and it's from Polymaker. Did they send me something? Should I know that they sent me something? I think they sent me something. They did send me some stuff. Which is this? Is this all public? Hopefully this is public. Okay. Oh, they sent me some filament. Cool. Cool. Oh, these are little. Oh, they're okay. I see what they are. I see what they are. Okay. I see what they are. Okay. We'll look at that later. Okay, so settings, chamber filtration, none. Okay, so we go down to filtration fan. Wait. Return. Okay, so where do we go? We go down to settings, chamber filtration. It's like chamber filtration, none. Okay. And then we enable advanced filtration. Okay. Filter usage, 0 hours. So it keeps, that's actually really cool. It, don't know if you'll be able to see this. It keeps track of how many hours are on the filter. It keeps track of how many hours are on the filter. And you can reset it, I'm assuming. So reset the filter usage. So it keeps track of how many hours are on the filter. Print filtration on. Post-print filtration on. Post-print. Oh, that's cool. So you could tell it to like run it for 10 minutes after the print finishes. Filter all materials. Nope. Okay, return. And then the filtration option can be found in the menu. So I need to look for where is, okay, so we got advanced filtration, but there should be another option here. Chamber filtration. None? I'm not seeing, oh yeah, we got that, okay. Yeah, so that's that. Okay. Cool. So there we go. Okay, let's give this some ASA Prusa Galaxy Black. That'll work. Why? Because it's right here. Look at the electronics. Yep, we already looked at them. We didn't open up the power box because the power box, I think you have to disassemble some of the frame to get at, or at least take some panels off, and I don't want to go that far. But the actual electronics that control the printer are the same as the Core 1. It's just the power box has a smaller power supply because you're no longer powering the bed with the power supply, and I'm assuming it has a solid state relay in there. There's also a little fan in there as well. So I'm firmly in the wait for Vector 3D to get his hands on one, and I'm sure he'll do an unboxing. Or he'll do a complete teardown. So no upgrade from the 2013 MCU? What? It's got the same MCU in it as the Core 1. Why would it need a better MCU? What's wrong with the, if you can give me valid reasons why it needs a better MCU. Okay, so take that in. This is ASA. Okay, what are we going to use for our test print? We are going to use my good tried and true test print here. Keyboard's not working. What's going on here? There we go. Okay. So we got Prusa ASA. We'll go with the structural profile, discard, 0.4 nozzle. We're going to print it with Voron settings, because it's the Voron part, and we are going to print the good old tried and true Voron front face. This is my like go-to generic testing a printer out in ABS print. There's lots of little fine details in here. There's some bridging. It's an actual part, not some synthetic test. So it's like my go-to verify that a printer can print ABS print or ASA. 350 people watching. Hey everyone, like the smash button. I'm a YouTuber. Do the YouTube thing. Do the la la la. Ooh. Go. Nice and clean. Yes, we have the correct color. Check ghosting. Yep. Why the long screen? It's purging. It does this when it's switching from one filament to another, so it's purging it out. Don't want cross-contamination, especially between different materials. Now, do ya? Do I wipe down the bed before every print? No. I wonder, does the filter work enough? Well, we'll see. We'll see. I like the smash button. Can I have a Core 1 now? Well, you know what, Rudy? Just because you asked, Rudy, what you can do, I will tell you. Okay, this is how you get a Core 1. What you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to fill out a resume, okay? I know times are tough right now, but you're gonna have to get one of these things. They're called a gerb. Get your gerb, and then you're gonna go and they're gonna give you money. And then you can take that currency and you can exchange it for goods and services. And a Prusa Core 1L counts as a good. It's a good. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that money you've received from your gerb, and then you're going to take that money and give it to Joe, and then Joe's gonna reach into his pocket and pull out a Core 1L and give it to you. Okay, so we gotta close this because we are printing ASA. So we are on the VIP profile. So hopefully we're all good there. Send to connect. So this is a 3-hour print. So unfortunately, I don't think the print's gonna finish during the stream. But we'll see. There we go. I'm wondering if there's a minimum layer time thing going on in there. I'm assuming there's a minimum layer time somewhere. This is all default. This is all default. So remove a couple. You know what? Yeah, you know what? Here, stop. I don't want to wait 3 hours. Here, let's just go right back to the default setting. How do I discard? There we go. We'll just do the default setting slice now. We'll just do the default. I was going to print it at Voron settings because it's a Voron part. Yeah, 2 hours. There we go. So this will finish on stream. Set ready, confirm. There's also going to be a heat soak time. So that'll be interesting. There's going to be a bit of a heat soak time. Okay, do we send it to the printer? Send to connect. Oh, send to Coral. There we go. Confirm. Print now. Yeah, let's stop transfer because it's still transferring the old file. You know, I canceled it. I gotta wait for that. Stop transfer. There we go. Command has been sent. There we go. Okay, Coral. Current transfer. Yep, there we go. There we go. Your bacon is ready. Ooh, bacon. 2 millimeters. ASA. Coral. Core 1L. Coronel. Hour 13 minutes. There we go. Or 2 hours 13. Bacon. Ooh, bacon. Did it close the vent already? It closed the vent. I didn't even notice it closed the vent. When did it close the vent? It closed the vent. It didn't move to close the vent and I didn't even catch it. Okay, well, it closed the vent. So it automatically closes the vent. No, it's a 1 kilogram spool. It's a standard 1 kilogram spool. Yeah, so for those that don't know, it has the Core 1L has a little finger, I guess you can call it, on top of the tool head. And it basically flips a switch that opens and closes the vent, so you don't need anything extra. So, didn't create... Well, did they base anything on it, or is it just like... Because this is designed for the Core 1L. So they have the top panel is redesigned. So the top panel is redesigned to work with this system. Whereas the previous one that somebody designed for the Core 1 uses the Core 1 top panel. So is it the same system? Did they credit them? I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm just, playing devil's advocate. Is it just convergent design, or did they take his design and use it? Because let's be honest, something that just kind of goes is a pretty simple thing. It uses a different spool holder. It uses a different spool holder. So it still is screwed into the frame, but if you want to extend it, you just reprint this part. and you get a longer one, and you just lock it in. Also, you know, if you wanted to print one of these with an RFID reader in it, that wouldn't be that hard. So, are they the same screws? They look the same. If by same screws you mean like flathead, button head screws, then yeah. And it's only on the one side again as well. It's not the same design. Jurgen's pull attaches to the... Yeah, this one attaches to the back panel, it looks like. Yeah, it attaches to the... where the arm comes up, where the umbilical attaches, it screws onto that. And it's got some flexiness to it, so if you bump it, it doesn't break. It's got like a little thingy to it. So... it's pretty... I mean... this is gonna take a wait because we gotta wait for. Okay, the bed is heating up to 110. Are those fans going under there? I can't see. Here, let me grab. Oh shoot, I don't have a light. Are those fans going? I can't see if the fans are going under there. They have like a little enclosure over them. But let's see here. Let's see here. Can we find? Go back down when printing. I have no idea. We'll find out. I think it does. It might just be for the preheat to heat the chamber up. Filaments. No, it stays 110. Stays 110. Stays 110. So let's see. Can we see tune? Chamber fans, filtration, flow factor, sensor, filament sensors, no. Input shaper, fan check, verify G-code, door sensor, user interface network. Info? Sensor info. So the chamber is at 37.8 Celsius. Trying to focus on that. Chamber is, there we go. Chamber is 40. Please show mainboard and PSU. BNG Monster. Go back to the beginning of this room. We already opened up the back of it to take a look at the electronics. The main board and the breakout board are the same as in the Core 1. So the main board and the breakout board are the same in the Core 1. The electronics are in a dedicated housing that is pre-sealed. So it's like its own box. And I would have to, I think, take panels off the frame to remove it from the frame so that we can then open it up. And I don't even know if you can open it up. But it has a smaller power supply in it because this doesn't need the power supply to heat the bed. So it uses a smaller Meanwell power supply for the hot end, the tool head, and the motors and the fans. And then the bed itself is a mains bed, so it has a solid state relay, I'm assuming. I don't think they're using a MOSFET. I'm assuming they're using a solid state relay. Okay, chamber's at 41 Celsius now. So how long is it gonna do this for? Let's see, how long does it do this, like? Waiting for chamber. Okay, so it's waiting for the chamber to get to 55 Celsius before it'll start even printing. So we have two options. I can either let it sit for like a couple minutes and we let it go, or I just start printing. But as it is right now, it's waiting for the chamber to get to 55 before it starts printing. So that fan's off. That fan's off. So the fans underneath the bed are going right now. The fans underneath the bed are spinning. I can hear them. 43. I'll get a hot air dryer and warm it. I could. See, this is where having like a actually thermally controlled environment would be very useful for testing. Because for example, hey, there's a bunch of little panel gaps in here, right? There's like, because this is all folded sheet steel, there's gaps in the corner. There is. How much difference would sealing those gaps be? Like if I went around with some like aluminum tape and sealed up all these gaps, how big of a difference will that be? What's the min for the chamber? The min is 40, the nominal is 55, it looks like. But we're waiting for the chamber to get to 55, so we'll see. Right now in my garage, it is currently, well, according to the printer, 23. That can't be right. It is currently 23 Celsius in my garage. Well, the bed's at temp. The bed's at temp. It's just waiting for the chamber to get to temp. So it's sitting at 43 right now. But the thing is, you have to remember, it's going to take a lot longer to get that initial heat going because you got to wait for the chamber to heat, or you got to wait for the printer to heat up. Because yes, it's dumping heat into this system right now. And this is something all printers do. This is something that's effective for all printers. But when you're dumping heat into this system, you're going to have a lag for a moment because the printer itself is going to start absorbing that heat. The panels, the aluminum panels, are going to basically absorb heat and take heat out of the system that's being dumped in. Okay? Who here watched the what is it, Chasing Connections? I can't remember, Technological Connections, whatever. Who watched the dishwasher video? Okay? Who here watched the dishwasher video? Put your hand up. Okay, you know how when you pre-wash it, how you should run your hot water so it pre-washes with hot water, so that part of that actually heats up the dishwasher so that when it goes to the wash cycle, it's already hot. This is what we're doing right now. We're preheating the printer. Everyone watched the dishwasher video. I love how everyone watched the dishwasher. How many? Put your hand up in chat if you went out and bought dishwashing powder this week. I did. I've been using freaking the whatever pods are on sale at Costco for the past couple years, and my dishwasher's been shitty. I went out and I bought $5 Walmart dishwashing detergent, and I used that last night, and guess what? It's the cleanest my dishes have been in years. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I don't feel like waiting anymore. I'm gonna just hit skip, and we're just gonna let it start printing, and we'll just see what it gets to. If I was printing this normally, I am normally not in a rush with prints. I would just let this go. But we're on a stream, so we're just gonna let it start printing, and then we'll just see what it gets up to, because I can pull up the chamber thermistor temperature. So. Is the top corner warm? I can feel a little heat. It is a little warm. It is a little toasty. Did I put it? Where did I put it? I put it, where did I have a laser thermometer. I don't know where I put it. Bring it in. Oh, I might have brought it inside the house. Yeah, I have a laser thermometer, and I think I brought it in the house. Oh, no, here it is. So the frame is sitting at 32 Celsius right now. Yeah, frame's 32. So we'll see what the frame gets up to. Probe in bed. Do you think they put the fans under the bed because the aluminum panels were conducting too much heat from the chamber? No. These panels are very thin. They're the same thickness as the standard panels. I think they just put the fans under there because, hey, we have an AC bed. I don't know what the wattage is on the AC bed. I forgot to ask when I was there. But it is an AC bed. You might as well, it has a chamber heater. It's called the bed. We just need to move the air around, so they just put fans on it. With how effective it works on Vorons, I'm actually legit surprised. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first like commercial printer that I'm seeing that actually has fans under the bed to use the bed to circulate heat in the chamber. So I'm legitly surprised nobody else has really tried it yet. So yeah, this is an LED bar. That's an LED bar. It displays statuses. Okay, according to this, the chamber is now at 51 Celsius. Chamber's at 51 Celsius now. There's a thermistor here. So they have down here, I'm assuming, if we look down here. So I'm assuming that's nozzle, bed, material we're printing, chamber temperature. So chamber temperature is at 55. Now the hot end's heating to 260. Gantry swirl the air around. Yeah, that might also help. That might also help. Ooh, it is getting a bit warm. Like not hot, but it is getting, you can feel it's warming up. Doing its little purge. So it's doing the same kind of purge that the XL does, where it spews a bit in the air and then it just cleans it off on the lip. So unfortunately, because we have the panel closed, you can see through the panel. Original back fans run when printing with advanced filtration kit. I'm assuming they will. None of the fans are on right now because it's printing ASA, so it knows not to turn the fans on. No skirter brim. I didn't slice it with a skirter brim. Default for the Prusa is no skirt. Because it does a purge right before it goes to printing, and that usually is enough. And I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever had first layer issues on any of the modern Prusas. But I put the skirt on printers where it's like, I might need to faff around with it a bit. The filtration kit enables the option to run the internal fans, the external fans, or both. Yeah, I basically just turned on auto, and it's just going to do whatever it does automatically. That is a really good first layer. Oh yeah, I can feel heat coming off the panels now. Also, the filtration kit should help with ABS temperatures, because now we have the exhaust out the back has to overcome a static pressure to print. So for example, my Core 1s back there that are on the shelf, I put a box on the back that vents downward because hot air rises, so that I don't have hot air escaping out the back. Even with the fans off, I don't have as much hot air escaping out the back. So I put little boxes on the back of them filled with activated charcoal, just as a kind of stopgap, so that, you know, when it's printing PLA, you open the vent up and the fan forces the air out and it's good. But when I'm printing ABS, you close the vent, you turn the fans off, and it just traps as much heat as possible. That's like, they did the same thing on this. The Pantheon has two big fans for blowing air out the back, and it has a filter behind it. The filter there isn't for filtering. The filter is there so that when the fans don't need to be on, the thing just doesn't leak hot air out the back. The fans are basically like just kind of a stopgap buffer. They're there so that the hot air has to overcome a static pressure to escape. So it only vents hot air when you want it to vent hot air, when you're trying to actively control chamber temperature. So. So this print does have a decent amount of overhangs too, because it counts like the outer wall as overhang. So Prusa slicer feels old. They need to have a reskin like Orca. 3.0 will have a new interface that'll be in the new year. Also, if it's so old, then why does everyone else base their slicer on Prusa slicer? It's so old, we need to copy it for our slicer. Patreon HS Pro to review. I don't know. If they want to send me one, I'll have it, but it's an expensive machine. The fact that they sent me that one still blows my mind. Thank you, Pantheon. You guys are awesome. An HS Pro that's an expensive machine. Do you know we'll support more than 10 plates? I have no idea, but it'll have tabs. So if you have like one of the annoying things I had when I was doing the Gundam was I had like 4 different slicers open because I had 4 instances of Prusa slicer open, one for each one of the printers I was using for printing the Gundam parts, so that I could just kind of keep track of stuff, what was being printed on what machine, because it got really annoying having to like switch over the settings every time. You know, I didn't really change many settings. I was using mostly defaults. It was still annoying to like, okay, switch over to this printer. Okay, change that infill setting because I was using lower infill on the higher parts and whatnot. So I just had 4 instances of Prusa slicer open. Prusa slicer 3.0 is going to have tabs. So you can just have one instance of it open and just have multiple work tabs. So. You don't see the point of changing it? You should get a job at YouTube then. Please tell the YouTube folks to stop changing the UI every 2 minutes. It's getting really annoying. XKCD 1172. Let's take a look here. XKCD 1170. Is that the standards one? Workflow. Changes in version 10.7. The CPU no longer overheats when you hold down spacebar. Comments writes, this update broke my workflow. My control key is hard to reach, so I hold spacebar instead, and I configured Emacs to interpret a rapid temperature rise as control. That's horrifying. Look, my setup just works for me. Just add an option to enable spacebar heating. Every change up, you'll break somebody's work for. True dat. True dat. Does the Core one use the same extruder setup? Yes, it uses the next extruder. Don't knock it. Gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers and appreciated. Just remember, the best way to support the channel, content I create, and things I do is become a channel member, Patreon supporter, or be a real cool person like Don't Knock It and gifting community memberships. Because that way other people get the benefits of being a community member, which is early videos, you get access to a special section on the Discord, you get some behind the scenes stuff that I'm working on, and videos early and member streams every month. Changing things, don't know how to chat, get my chat show channel name instead of handle. That is a good question, Shuffle. I have no idea. YouTube changed something and I cannot find any setting to make it display your handle instead of your account name. I legit have no idea how to reverse that. Because there's like there is no setting I can find to go back to the old way. I legit have no idea how to fix that. They just changed it one day on my channel, and I have no idea how to do that. Like content controls, like posting community on basic subscribers, day one block words. Like I legit have no idea how to go back to the old way with that. Like legit, I have no idea. Gergvin gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers and appreciate it. What's the printer's name? It's Coral. because I don't know, we're making Carl jokes from I've never watched The Walking Dead after the first season because it went to shit. But like the whole Carl, and he says it's like sounds like coral, and this is the core 1L, so it's coral. So it's coral. This is coral. So yeah. Follow displays normally, but those were a few. Yeah, I have no idea what YouTube did. But somebody who works at YouTube who's in charge of that has to justify their existence by changing something every couple months, and they changed that. It's really annoying. I don't like it, but they did it. So yeah, I really wish I knew how to change it back. I really wish I knew how to change it back. So okay, you know what? While we're doing this, let's put shake and tune. Clipper, shake and tune. Clipper, shake and tune. Let's put shake and tune on my Venture XL because I cannot get good prints off the Venture XL. I have no idea what is going on with the Venture XL, but I, for the life of me, cannot get good prints off of this thing. Everything is tight. Everything is calibrated. Like my extruder E-steps are calibrated. Everything is calibrated, but the prints just look like ass. Like, that looks like ass. And I can't figure out why. And it is super annoying because it printed good before I swapped out the tool head. Correction, it printed good before I went to high flow. The moment I put high flow on this thing, it just cannot. So I have no idea what's going on with it. Like, I don't know if, you know, belts are too tight, belts are too loose. So we're gonna put shake and tune on it, and that's what we're doing tomorrow night on stream. Is we're gonna be playing around with shake and tune to see if we can kind of figure out what the heck is going on here. Change it back to a 0.4 nozzle. I don't want to do a 0.4 nozzle. Cross bracing. I don't think it's a cross bracing thing because it's like these aren't issues that showed up at all before I swapped the nozzle to a high flow nozzle. Like literally the moment I went to a high flow hot end, I've been having issues with print quality. And I don't know why. So put this in here. Okay, make sure you have the working accelerometer on a machine. Yep, we have that. Install shake and tune by running SSH over your printer. Cool. Go pellet extruder. I have a Luke's Lab tube compact, and it's not the tube compact. I've tried two different tube compacts because I have a whole box of them. So I've tried two different tube compacts. So it's not that. It's not a high flow nozzle. It is a high flow hot end. It's a tube compact with a Diamondback V6. Turn input shaper off. I'm wondering if input shaper is something's funky with input shaper. But it's just like very inconsistent. And I'm not even printing, like I'm only printing at like 30 millimeters cubed a second of flow, and I'm still getting like just crap print quality. And I don't know why. It's a V2.5, not 2. The E-steps are good. Collie, the E-steps are good and everything. Like I tell it to go 100 millimeters, it extrudes 100 millimeters. Both axes, it is. We're not gonna play around with it too much today. Tomorrow night is gonna be the messing around. Well, we've already, okay. So this is how we know who the, no offense, tourists are, because it does have a 0.3 layer height profile. People are throwing out ideas for things we already have done. This is why we're not doing this right now. I'm just kind of putting the idea out. We're gonna be faffing around with it tomorrow, so save all your suggestions for tomorrow. We're just I'm just putting Shake and Tune on it right now to see what Shake and Tune says. So, look at it go. This is looking really good. Also, it's not stupid loud. I love it. Tourists. I mean, like, if you've been watching any of the XL stuff, you would know my default profile with it is a 0.3 layer height with a 0.6 nozzle. Get the camera? No, I actually have the camera out of it right now because it works when it connects to my home Wi-Fi, but it kept like dropping out because my home Wi-Fi, it has to talk through the ground to get to it because my home Wi-Fi is actually in my basement. And from like here to the router is like direct line through a concrete wall in the basement. So it kept dropping out and it got annoying, so I just unplugged it. The camera is right here. So I got to put the camera back in. What materials on the Core 1L? ASA. It is ASA. Yeah, the Stealth Printer front cover is a very good front cover test print. Like, it's a very good ABS or ASA test print. It's a print that will warp very easily if you don't have a good chamber. It's a print that will show you how it overhangs, how it bridges, how it does like actual like complex geometric features. It's not just a synthetic test. This is an actual real world print. So, and the chamber is 54 right now. For those wondering at home, the chamber, according to the chamber thermistor, is 54 Celsius right now. So. Okay, so after you install that, then append the following on your printer. So we add this to our printer. Okay, cool. So let me add this. Seaboard tried it, or not Seaboard tried. Oh yeah, and it does show ringing, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put this Shake and Tune in here. Okay, results folder is there. Bearded Printer gifted a community membership. Cheers and appreciated. Has the diamond bag nozzle been dropped or chipped? Nope. Yeah, Prusa profile. Yeah, and the thing is, I don't think it'll try and vent it. If it gets over 55, I don't think it'll try and vent. Like right now, it's saying it's 54 in the chamber. But none of the fans are kicking on to vent anything, so... Like, I do remember them saying during the presentation that this will get to 60. But I don't know what environment that is. It is a little chilly in my garage right now. I do live in Canada. It is November, and I don't have any heater in my garage right now. It's off. So it is a little on the chilly side. But it's not too bad. So I'm wondering like what the what it would look like in a controlled environment in like an office where, you know, it's room temperature. So it's hard to say. So it's kind of the downside. I think the door is not fully closed. No. Right, my door isn't fully closed. My door warped. Right, my door isn't fully closed. I'll take a look at that later. Oh, you know what? My door is warped. My door does this. I gotta take a look at that. Because there is a foam gasket around it. So it does kind of push out a bit. Does the other ones do it? Yeah, no, the other ones. Yeah, the other ones do the same look, but they seal at the top. I'm gonna have to take a look at that magnet. Huh. Are we missing a magnet or something? Let me check. Over to this side. What's going on here? Yeah, magnet's not. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, I'll play around with that after. I'll just put a piece of tape on it for now to keep it closed. It's literally like the littlest amount of force to keep it closed. That's odd. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Good catch. Not sure how index will mesh. However, it needs to mesh. You can use whatever you want to mesh it. You can put a probe, like on the carriage, you can easily put a beacon on it or any sort of inductive probe or whatever you want, or you can have a physical switch. It can mesh however you want it to mesh. Index is a system. It's up to the printer to determine how it meshes. Index is just a nozzle changing or a tool changing system. It's not a printer. So whatever printer you're putting on is going to dictate how it meshes. So. Put the fish magnet on. Well, okay, the reason I'm not playing with it now is because I want to actually play with it off stream when it's not printing and actually try and diagnose it properly and see why it's not closing. I got a feeling it's just something like I might just have to like loosen a screw or something, because you know how sometimes with doors, if you have like you tighten the screws and the doors like hang in or something when you tighten them, it doesn't close properly. So yeah, well, we'll take a look. Challenge with putting an extra on the non-Prusas. Yeah, so the problem with the strain gauge is, or the problem, not the problem, but the thing with a Prusa is Prusa firmware is real time. It doesn't work like batch commands like Clipper. So when like, you know, here, I'll show you. Tune, info, sensor info. Where is it? Here is a live reading of the load cell. So like this is a live reading of the load cell as it's printing. Like they read the sensors at like real time. It's real time. There's your bed voltage, by the way. So we got 220 on the bed. This is cool. Let's go through all this. What do we got? We got head to this side. So the heater is drawing 1.4 amp, 0.9 amp, 1 amp. So that's there's the voltage for the heater voltage. There's your bed voltage. Filament sensor value. Door sensor is disabled. Load cell value. There's the bed MCU temperature, 41. So there's an MCU under the bed, I guess. That's probably also why they have a fan there. Heat break temperature, live reading. Nozzle temperature, live reading. Chamber temperature, live reading. So we're 55 in the chamber right now. So that's like the cool thing is because it's a real time, it's running on the metal. You don't have to worry about you can read it live. You see when a retraction happens? With the load cell, probably, because it's taking a little bit of force off of it. I did the Jesse test. I don't think the Jesse test would have done that because I did that to both my core ones and it didn't do anything to it. That. Okay. Compare belt responses. Copy. I don't know, I'm just running a bunch of commands for Shake and Tune right now to see what it says. Prusa makes nice printers. They do! I'm gonna go to -19. Yeah, that was probably it doing a retract. I could probably tell that. Plastic moves a lot more than steel. Yep. You would be surprised, even with steel, like you would be surprised how much steel grows under temperature change. Like when I did mold making, like you'd have to design the mold to compensate for the thermal expansion and contraction of steel depending on the temperature. So it's like you would have to design the part. So you have the part that goes on the car. And this is what the part needs to be size-wise to fit on the car. But then you need to realize that that part is made with injection molded plastic, which when it's hot expands. So you have to design the mold to shoot the part so that when the part comes out of the mold, it is oversized so that when the plastic cools down to its final temperature, it contracts down to the final size that it needs to be to fit on the car. And plastic shrinks, you know, depending on how thick the plastic is and how long the part is and how like a boss is, and there's all kinds of math involved and features and whatnot. And what it's not like it doesn't shrink linearly. So it's not like you just scale it 1% or something. There's like a whole thing with it. But the mold, the part that comes out of the mold, like the actual mold face itself is not the shape of the part that goes on the car because it's oversized usually. And yeah, that's something engineers do. I wasn't an engineer. I was the guy on the floor with a wrench. What are you guys' thoughts about a Core 1 Bond Tech Index? It'll be pretty cool. It will be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Does the Core 1L have the same belt tuning feature? Yep. We did it as soon as we took this out of the box. I had to do a firmware update on it because mine was a first off the line model. So I had to do a firmware update on it, which took 2 minutes. We did the auto belt tune using the LED strobe. That took 2 minutes, if that. And then I set up the Wi-Fi and we started printing. That was all I did with this machine. So, and if you're wondering how well it prints, behold, water horse thing. This is marble PLA, so it's cheating, but still. This is straight off the printer, no cleanup. Prusa. It is a pre-sliced G-code though. How's the VFA looking? Oh, you tell me. Again, it is marble. We'll probably see any VFA issue more in the black, but I don't know. Looks fine to me. I know, marble's cheating. Marble is cheating. But it is what it is. It's Prusa marble. It is Prusa because they sent me a box of filament with the printer. Also, we have this. Who knows what this is? Joe makes every spool himself, manufactured in-house by Joseph Prusa. When I went to Prague the other week, he was just working on the line, just spooling filament by hand, just sitting there with a winder, just spooling filament by hand. That's all he does now. But yeah, this is the open NFC Prusa. So this has the open NFC tag built in. So you can see a little sticker is in there. And this is a reusable spool. So all Prusa spools are going to be reusable going forward. So you can reuse these. Which means I have to actually finish one of these spools so that I can do it. So it comes with the NFC. I don't know if it does anything if I scan it. Yeah. But apparently you can do it with your phone. But I don't know if the release version of the Prusa app. I gotta join another Discord. Okay, sure. Okay, I gotta join a Discord. Buy some gamer subs, use code Canuck, save some money, and get some delicious gamer subs. Get a waifu on your cup. Look, it's totally not Melania. The Blade of Mikola. It's totally not. Yeah, they made me join a new Discord, so justify it. Who is this? Oh, and then I know I said yesterday we're gonna try and do a Twitch stream. I wasn't feeling the greatest. I have a stomach bug. I'm not liking it right now. But I had this show up, and it actually works. So we finally have a proper working micro CRT. So it actually works. So hopefully tomorrow, if I have some time, we're gonna be doing a little bit of faffing about with that thing on Twitch. So that'll be fun. Because who doesn't want to build a 1970s Steam Deck? We have 400 people here. Hi! If you're new here, make sure you like the smash button, ring the bell, and subscribe. We stream 3 days a week on here doing 3D printer stuff usually. Unboxing, builds, kits, tuning, printing, chilling. So if you're subscribed and you're notified, you won't miss out. And if you want to help support the channel, content I create, things I do, consider becoming a channel member, Patreon supporter, gifting memberships to others, or hey, just pull out that credit card, do some shopping, check out the affiliate links below, because Christmas is coming and Polymaker has a big sale on right now. Prusa has a big sale going on right now. A lot of people have sales going on right now. Christmas is coming. Get that special someone in your life who's into 3D printing a little something. Okay, shilling over. Yeah, we'll play around with the shake and tune stuff tomorrow. Did you make sure to set it to Wumbo? Ah, dang it. He's got the slow boat notification shipment. So it is funny. UPS called me last week and they're like, hey, we have a package coming for you from insert name of Chinese company here. And I'm like, I have no idea where that's from. So I reached out to a few different companies that I might have stuff on the way from. And one of them's like, yeah, I think we think it's ours. And I'm like, okay, they need like paperwork for it. And like, they're like, we don't have anything. Just send it back and we'll send it a different way. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So then a package showed up from that company. I'm like, okay, so I guess it wasn't your package. And they're like, okay, well, you got your thing. It was the power supplies from LDO. I don't know where I put them, but anyways, power supplies from LDO. And so I'm like, cool. Well, UPS called today and they're like, hey, we actually released that package. We weren't supposed to. Do you have paperwork for it? And I'm like, no. They're like, they put the value down for as like $25. I'm like, that sounds about right. And they're like, do you have paperwork to confirm that? I'm like, no. Well, why not? I don't know. They just sent me a power supply for a printer. It wasn't a printer. It was a power supply for a printer. And they're like, oh, and I'm like, okay, have a nice day. And they're like, yeah, but I'm like, have a nice day. I've got my package. It's your problem now. You deal with Canada Customs. I wash my hand of that. The moment the package is in my hand, it is mine. It's like, I'm not dealing. I've had to deal with Canada Customs before. F that. This is looking really good. Junction deviation in latest Prusa slicer. What does it mean? Should I care? My rule of thumb with Prusa slicer is if you are printing on a Prusa, use the default Prusa slicer settings, and if it works, it works. So if they added a junction deviation, I think that's how much it changes acceleration. Am I thinking about it right? Am I right there? I don't know. Leave it default. Just leave it default. Print. If it prints good, it prints good. So today you can scan the NFC. Have I tried it? I gotta update the app. Let me see. How do you update the app? How do you update? I have never actually looked into updating an app. Like forcefully updating an app. How do you, oh, notifications. No, Coral needs, no, okay. How do you set up printer, belt tuning, eShop, help settings? Oh, scan, open print tag, scan. Okay, you can scan it through the box. So here, ready? Ready? Scan. Prusa Galaxy Black. There we go. It was made on October 25th. It is, the spool weighs 277 grams. It is 360.5 millimeters of filament. And it weighs 1,064 grams. Recommended print temperature, 215 plus minus 10. 50C on the bed, plus minus 10. In a 20C chamber. That's cool. That's cool. How's the arm attached to the extruder? For the little flicky arm, you can kind of see it there. So that's the arm right on top. So you have that, like, it comes across this way. That is the umbilical. And then you have like a little spring thing that screws onto the back. It's a printed spring, so it just kind of like snakes like an S. And then you have it's just mounted on the back of that. And then the little tab to open and close it is right up front here, which is just out of camera view, but it's like right up here is a little hook it hooks into. So it actually moves in front of the bed to open and close the vent. So it moves into an area it doesn't print in because there's like 10 millimeters of over travel in front of the bed on this printer, I believe. So it moves into that area to like open and close it. So you don't have to worry about it accidentally opening or closing it during a print because it's not in the bounds of a print volume. So once the spool is empty, can you reassign it? You know what? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go grab something because, oh, here it is. I do have it here. Here is a print tag, an unused print tag. Scan. Failed to read NFC data. So there's nothing on this one. So I need a way of writing to this. And I don't know if you can write to this with this app. Settings. Yeah, I don't think they have a way to write to it. Right now, I think you can only read. I don't think you have a way of writing. Because they're gonna have to move, they're gonna have to have an NFC reader by the spool at some point. Because it would be really nice that when you just throw the spool on, the printer goes, oh, you just threw a spool of PLA on me. And off you go. 3D print. It's not really a spring. Just think of it as a like, so if you, it's not like a straight hook, okay? It's not like a straight hook. It like comes off like, okay, so if you're looking at the back of the tool head, so you know the tool head's vertical, but we laid it down, and you're looking at the back. So it comes off, instead of coming up straight and then having a hook, it just comes up and it goes, and then the hook. So that way it's got a little bit of wiggle if you bump it. Like here, I'll take a picture of it. Pretty good view of it. There we go. Like, why am I explaining this? I could just take a picture of it and show you. Ah! Waiting on the file to transfer over. Yeah, so you can see it here. So it mounts on the back there, and it's got this little shape, so it can, if you bump it, it doesn't like snap right off. So it's got a little bit of flex to it, but that's basically all it is. So you have this little printed thing on the back, and it just hooks into a little thing in the thing, and then just opens and closes the vent. Easy peasy. The chamber is 56 Celsius, by the way, for those wondering. So. If Prusa and Jesse came with an extra blank tag retrofit. Yeah, I don't know what the plan is. You'll be able to reuse the tag in here because this is a reusable spool. So these are rewritable. They're not like locked down. So what you would do is you finish printing and then you could take the spool, put a refill on it, and just reprogram it to whatever you want. Let me check the email from Polymaker, see if I can talk about what they just sent me. So I am really bad at actually responding to companies. Okay, I can't talk about it yet. Never mind. Okay, I can't talk about it then. Never mind. It's something I can't talk about. Anywho. But yeah, so you'd be able to, and also you could probably take the tag out because it's just a sticker, right? You just peel the sticker out. Talk about what now? The Glomar Explorer is my favorite boat. Not a filament thing. No, from my knowledge, I was at the Prusa event and Polymaker was not one of the companies on the disclosure for open print tag initiative. So while it would be really cool to see companies like Polymaker adopt this standard, I don't think they've adopted the standard and then also released filament in the week that it's been since Prusa has announced it. While it would be really cool to have Polymaker filament with an open NFC system on it, when they announced it, they didn't have Polymaker on the list of like companies willing to work with them. And I highly doubt Polymaker liked the idea, joined the initiative, and already has filament made for it in a week. So yeah. You like the NFC? Yep. Let me see here. What is it called? NFC tools. Okay, let me if I get my phone hacked by putting this stupid app on my phone. Do I even have the Play Store on here? It is sad how I never install apps on my phone. Like literally, this is a Pixel 9a. I got this at the beginning of the year because my Pixel 6 was starting to get old and the USB port died on it. Like it just doesn't work anymore. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I got this at the beginning of the year. When I got this phone, it transferred over like all my contacts and all my settings from the old phone, right? You know how you get a new phone and it transfers over? It transferred over all the apps that I use. Like I went through the list and I selected the apps I wanted to keep. I haven't put a new app on it since then. Like I use my phone for Discord, texting, watching YouTube and Reddit, and recording videos. That is all I use my phone for. Okay, so what is it? NFC tools, NFC tools. Install, verified by Play. I don't care how many downloads. I mean, freaking. Okay, so NFC tools is an app that allows you to read, write, and program. Okay, recommend. Okay, so next. Read an NFC, next. Next. Close. Approach an NFC tag. Okay. Memory block. So it's got 308 bytes of information. It's writable. Yes. So this is a writable tag. The one in here is already writable. Can be made read only. No. You cannot set this to read only. So this will always be a rewritable tag. So let's go back to read. Oop, no. Okay, so this one has no information on it. So write, add a record, add text. Okay. So if I just select write before approaching your NFC tag, where is write? Yeah, that is right. Oh, here we go. Write, approach the NFC tag, write complete. Okay. Now, can't clear it, eh? So let's see. So we have this. Okay. What does it say right there? What does it say? That is cool. So yeah, you can write to these. Kegs can be write protected. This is set up to not be write protected. It like, here, let me scan the Prusa one again, like the actual. Can be made read only. No. And if you want to know what the payload is, here you go. Anyone with a Prusa spool could read this, so. There you go. That's cool. Got my decoder ring. Open print tag generator. Oh, there already is a generator for it? Oh shit. Create and decode open print tag. Oh shit. So the thing with this is you could run this completely offline. So if you really wanted to, okay, you could have, like, if you knew you were always using the same spools, like if you're always reusing the same spools, you could have the printer do it, or you could even just have a station set up that you like use an old laptop or an old computer or whatever with an NFC reader on it and a scale. You put the spool on it, it reads the tag, and you just tell it, you know, it reads that PLA and you just can adjust the weight on it, right? Like how much filament's left on it. And then that way, when you go to grab it off the shelf, you can just scan it and go, oh, this one's got 600 grams. This got 500 grams. Oh, this is 800 grams. Like, this is one of those things that at a certain point, if it does take off, like imagine how nice it'll be to be like, oh shoot, okay, I need to print, you know, I'm looking at my slicer. Okay, this is a 208 gram print. Okay, this spool has 100 grams. 201. Oh, 250, we're good. Like, how cool will that be? How cool will that be? Where you just, oh, we're good. But the problem is the system has to exist and it has to be adopted and it has to be implemented in a way. There's a reason Steam is the best company ever for video game buying. There's a reason Steam just keeps on winning. It's shit simple and they don't do stupid stuff that often. They still do stupid stuff, but not often. Cough, cough, crash the CSGO knife market. That was funny. But I mean, like, there's a reason Steam just keeps on winning. It's shit simple and it just works, right? There's a reason everyone loved Netflix when it was, you know, before everyone else came out with their streaming service. There's a reason pirating went down. There's a reason like nobody pirates video games anymore. Like, yeah, people still do. But I mean, like, compared to the old days, you just buy it on Steam when it goes on sale for $5. It's great. Making it easy and user-friendly. Like, nobody's going to use the system if it only works with generic brand spools. It can only be read on their printer. Or, like, you have to, you know, it requires the cloud. This you can do entirely offline. Yes, using the cloud will make it a lot easier and give you more features, but you could rewrite these and keep everything completely offline if you wanted to. So that'll be really cool. Because again, that little scenario, oh shoot, I need to print something 250 grams. Okay. Oh, okay, that's 200 grams. Grab this spool. Oh, 400, we're good. The spool's good. Because, you know, when the print finishes, it updates the RFID tag on the spool with how much filament's remaining on the spool. Because now you're tracking the filament usage at the spool, not on a cloud server, right? Everything is on the spool itself. So yes, if you want to make a database of all your filaments, of like how, where, like, you know, you want to basically make a database so you could search all the filaments you have in stock and their inventory, you're gonna have to make an Excel spreadsheet, or somebody's gonna have to make something that like ties into the app, so as you scan it, it imports and whatnot. you know, it might be built into the OpenTag system as a cloud thing if you wanted, or you can just use it completely locally and run an Excel spreadsheet. You are not being forced to use the cloud. You are not being forced to use some other guy's computer. You're not being forced to potentially have everything you upload to that cloud be compromised by malicious actors. Because remember, at the end of the day, when it comes to anything that leaves your home network, it's not just the company that you're uploading that shit to that you have to worry about. You have to worry about if malicious actors ever breach their security and get access to that information. So, you know, if, you know, remember when Sony got hacked and all their emails got leaked by North Korea? If something like that happens to insert printing company here, do you think people will care that you printed a Benchy and read PLA the other day? No! But I'm sure all those 3DP2A folks would really not like it if, you know, oh, you printed some FRTs and you printed a little giggle switch for your Glock. And I'm sure those folks will really not like it if their print history got, you know, doxed. It's one of those things, right? Spoolman exists. Okay, there you go. My filament inventory management system is, that's a pretty color. I'm going to use that. Yeah, touch the spool on the reader before putting it back on the rep rack. Yeah, like that'd be really cool. Do you know? Okay, so as of right now, there is no native way for the Prusa printers to read the spools, other than the fact there is an NFC reader on the back, because the Prusa printers have the NFC reader originally for setting up the Wi-Fi. For setting up the Wi-Fi and some other stuff internally, I believe. This system was developed after the fact of the printers being designed. So unfortunately, the spool reader, the NFC reader for these printers is on the back. But you saw it, it is literally 2 screws and it comes off, and it's a little wire attached to a PCB. There is nothing stopping anyone from selling a longer wire with the PCB and just having the PCB built into the spool holder, because, you know, you can just put it in one of these, have the wire come out, run it behind your printer into the main board, and off you go. Because, you know, remember that the NFC is circular and it's around this. So if you build the reader into this, you're golden. So, yeah. So pretty much it's just a very minor hardware problem, extending the RFID tag or reader from back there to the side, which longer wire, and redesign the PCB so it fits in the spool handle. Okay, that's easy. And then software support. Because it would be really cool that when you finish the print, a little pop-up pops up going, print finished successfully, new spool weight this, right to spool? Yes. Or just, you could even have a setting that it'll automatically do it instead of prompting you. Like, we're on the software side of things now, and we just need support. So, where is open print tag? Open print tag. Is there, can you Google it? Where is it? Openprinttag.org. And by the way, I say we because, hey, look, 4 on. So as of right now, we got, you know, positron, printed solid, which is Prusa. So we got Prusa, we got Prusa, well, not Prusa, but positron, Prusa employees. Filament PM, which is pretty closely in the same ballpark as Prusa. Filamentum, I've gotten the Filamentum Fiberflex. New makers, 3D Fuel. Don't know who these companies are. 3DX Tech, that's a big one. So it'd be cool to see printed solid on, or correction, it'd be cool to see Polymaker on here. It'd be cool to see, you know, a bunch of brands on here, because this is one of those things that if it starts catching on, you don't want to be the company that's not part of it. right? Because, hey, for Clipper's easy. Any printer from Creality, Cheaty, whatever, if it's running Clipper, that's a Git pull and a very easy mod to plug in a USB dongle with an NFC reader, and now your printer is compatible, right? New Year, 7 months. I thought a Saturn 4 Ultra Kit and I recently bought a month ago. I love it so much. Awesome. I need to get mine set back up. It hasn't been used in like a year because I haven't had to print resin, but I'm gonna have to eventually. So yeah, they added some more. I think 3DX Tech's new. I just remember watching the presentation, like here, like, where is it? No, not there, not there. No, 3D models, Nero 3D, import, Prusa Day, view, large icons. Because I recorded the whole presentation from my perspective. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, let me see here. Yeah. So like, so they're announcing it all, and they're like, oh, these companies, and they're like, oh, these companies, I've seen Voron, and I'm like, but yeah, so they were really happy about this. Also, if you didn't see the presentation, it was super cool because they did it in front in a I think they have an official video for it, which probably captures it better. But the whole presentation, the whole launch event was in a planetarium, and it was really cool because it literally wrapped around overhead and it was all like LED screens. So that was pretty cool. But Voron isn't a company. I know. Who cares? I'm gonna eat some Haribos. Oh, hey Joe. Dev kit coming this year? Yeah. Like, I was talking about scenarios, like, for... Also, since you're here, Joe, oh. Okay, see, the printer knows that Joe's here because now the door's closing all the way. The door was like sticking open ever so slightly. So I put a piece of tape on it, but now it's closing all the way. See? The printer knows Joe's here, knew to behave. But no, it's like the moment it's gonna hit a break-even point where all of a sudden it'll be like, I don't care if it has it, to like, actually, that's a feature I want. I was telling people, like, you have your rack of filament on the wall, you need to print something that's 500 grams. You know how easy it'll be to just grab your phone and pull a spool down, go 208, 400. Okay, this spool's good. Just check weights. Like, that'll be so nice. Because half the reason I have so many spools on my shelf is because they're partial spools that I'm too lazy to check how much they weigh, and I just grab a fresh spool for a big print. So we're at 56C in the chamber. Bottom of the... Have a look at the bottom of the floor. What do you mean, look at the bottom of the floor? Like my floor? It's concrete. All right, take care, Joe. Have to run. Yeah, it's late there. It's like, what is it? It's like 11 there right now. I'm trying to make a business with 3D printing. How have you managed to create your business and afford to get all these 3D printers? I am not a business. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a very D tier YouTuber who streams 3D printing builds. Pretty much every printer you see in camera right now was given to me by companies, or I built myself. So, yeah. Wait, Joseph isn't a member? Yeah, Joseph's not a channel member? Oh, he's at SEMA. Oh, he's at SEMA right now. That's right. If you're at SEMA right now, go check out the Prusa booth. Alan Mandic's there too. Mandic, really. But yeah, like Clipper support for the open tag will be easy because it'll just be a PCB with the reader in it. You just put it in whatever printed housing you need for your specific printer, a wire and a USB dongle, and boom. And you just do a wget, you know, a GitHub pull on your printer, and boom, now you have Clipper support. Like, that will be easy. So pretty much, you know, one of the cool things with all the commercial printers, a lot of them using Clipper now, is, you know, as long as you have access to SSH into it and can do a git pull, you can pull the open print tag module whenever it gets created. I'm assuming somebody's working on that because that's a pretty big market. To bottom of the door seems to be warped. Is it the bottom? No. Bottom's closed. Top's closed. I'm wondering if it's just a heat thing because this is the first time it's been heated up. It does kind of bow a little bit because there is a gasket that does kind of push it a little bit. But it is pushed up against the gasket all around. So we're good. So. Polymaker gets on board with the open print tag will be a big tip and point. Yeah, like these tags, they're I don't know how much like it costs to make a tag, but it's a sticker. It's a reusable sticker. So all you do is just stick it on a spool you can reuse and reuse it, or you can just peel it off and re-stick it. Because I'm pretty sure it's kind of hard to kill these. I'm pretty sure you can like rip it and it'll still work. Like, I don't know all the details about RFID because I've never really looked into it, but yeah. On DIY dry boxes, right? Yeah, I mean, like, it'd be able to work on anything. And also, with it being circular, it's not like you have to have the spool, because I think that's a thing with the Prusa spools in the AMS. The spool has to be in a proper orientation to read it. I'm reading the spool through the cardboard box. Like, so the sticker's on this side. So let's see if I can read it through the spool. So Prusa, NFC reader. So we got the reader. Can I read it through the spool? Okay, so my phone can't read it through the spool. But how far away before it reads? Scan. Right about there. So let's see. Yeah, it's about an inch, But that's the phone reader, the phone NFC reader. I don't know what the strength is of the, like, I don't know how strong of a reader you could build. But if you put it in the spool holder, it's pretty much, you know, doesn't matter. It's inside the spool holder. It's right there. It's surrounded by NFC RFID-ness. Yeah, is there an accelerometer? You know what? I will check the sensor list. I didn't see one when I looked in there earlier. Info, sensor info. So we got, okay, you want to know all the sensors that we have in here? Let's look at all the sensors that we have in here. So all the sensors. You want to know the sensors? Okay. So we got board temperature, MCU temp, bed temp, chamber temp, nozzle temp, heat break temp, bed MCU temp, load cell value. That is the load cell, not the accelerometer. Door sensor disabled because I turned it off. Filament sensor, side filament sensor, bed voltage, heater current, input current, MMU current, fan info. That is it. So there is no readable. Why is it saying bed fan stuck? It's 10%. I don't know why is it saying stuck? Oh, you know what? It probably turns off because the bed's at 55, so it's not circulating air anymore. Door sensor's not. No, I turned it off. I turned the door sensor off because I want to be able to open the door and check on stuff mid-print and not have it pause. So yeah, if there is an accelerometer in the tool head, it's not being pulled by the firmware right now, or at least it's not available in that. I'm assuming it's the same tool head board as the regular Core 1. Considering the controller board and the expansion board are the same boards as the Core 1, I'm assuming the Core 1L is the same tool head board. I don't know why they would do a separate SKU with the accelerometer when it's not needed. So, thought the default for Core 1 is off. I don't know. I went into the settings and I made sure it was off. I'm pretty sure, or when you turn it on, it tells you if you want to enable it or not. And I told it no. I was told, well, who told you that? Like, Prusa Core 1L. Specs, Control F, Excel. Okay, Core 1 equipped with an accelerometer. Okay, it has an accelerometer then. There you go. There's your answer. Quick going to the Prusa store page and looking up accelerometer would have told you it had an accelerometer. Yes, built in. There you go. It's built in. Cool. Can you do anything with it? I don't know, but it's built in. So, word of advice, it's always better to go to the actual company instead of asking a random YouTuber. I'm assuming the Prusa site is a better source of information about the Prusa printer than a YouTuber yapping while the printer prints. So, now, do you need the accelerometer? I don't know. I don't even know where it's at. It's in there somewhere. How to replace the accelerometer, Core 1. Okay, let's look that up. Where is it? Let's find it out. Search Google. How do we find this? Accelerometer. So it's a separate board. Okay, let's go back. So on the Core 1, it's a separate board. So support, Core 1L, printer maintenance, accelerometer, Control F, Excel. Yeah, there is no control. Oh, wait, no, that's assembly. Control F, no, Control F. How to replace the accelerometer. Okay, is that it right there? Oh, it's a little board on top. Is that what that is? Okay, there it is. It's right up there at the top. Okay, it has an accelerometer. It's not being pulled by anything. Like, it's not on the sensor list, but it's right there. So there you go. 2 seconds of Googling would have told you that. How they did the embedded accelerometer Core 1 get as a permanent attachment. Thanks for checking. Yeah. Yeah, it's not in the sensor readout, but it's on top. Because from my understanding, and I've asked Prusa about, like, not Joe, but I've asked like Prusa about it a couple times for a few different people. And it's basically, they build these in a factory. They're all built exactly the same, and they have done input shaping tuning on them. And it's like, if you have 100 machines, 97 of them have the exact same input shape value out of the factory. And the other 3 are within like margin of error difference where you're not even gonna notice the difference in the print itself. Like, it's different value, but it's not like when you look at the prints, you can't tell it's that different. So they're just a couple pre-programmed values in, and it just goes whatever one the printer works with the best. As long as you do the belt tune, which is very easy to do, as long as your belts are good, the stock input shaper value should match the machine almost perfectly. So we like putting accelerometers in our DIY printers because we all build them differently. You know, if I print my printer with, you know, one brand of ASA over another brand of ASA with slightly different printer settings, it's probably going to have different input shaper values. But like, these are assembly line machines, so the value shouldn't be that different. So let me Google that for the Friday fun. Cheers, Andrew. So yeah, it has an accelerometer, but what is it? What do you get out of it? So it means you can run the input shaper. Is there an input shaper? I didn't see an input shaper wizard. I saw a belt tuning wizard, but I didn't see an input shaping wizard. Like, is there an input shaping wizard? Let me check. Let me check settings. There's manual belt tuning. There's firmware update. There's hardware. Homing calibration. I do not see an input shaping wizard in here at all. Filament sensors. I can't tell it. It has a thing. Hardware. Door sensor. G-code check. Display refresh rate high. Firmware update manual. There is no way to tell it has an accelerometer. Yeah, there is no way for me to tell it has an accelerometer. By the way, if you're wondering, my two Core 1s combined have a total of 50 days of print time on them. My two Core 1s combined, one has 29 days of print time and the other one has 21 days of print time. Core 1 was external, but the fact that there's nowhere in the settings to tell it has an accelerometer attached. Oh, it's automatically knows? Oh. Oh. I will check. I didn't see any input shaping tuning wizard in there. So. Does it have, the belts are 2 GT. It looks a bit flimsy versus the bamboo printers. Percolent 4269. Or sorry, 4629. As somebody who has had both printers in their hands, this is better built than a Core 1 or an X1. I'm sorry. The Bamboo X1 it's a sheet metal frame with plastic on it. This is metal. This is much more solid, I think. At least in my opinion. It doesn't, put it this way, this doesn't rattle as much as my X1 did when it prints. Yeah, the X1 panels are motor loudspeaker. Yeah, they're loud. Also, it's black and orange. I'm sorry. Every other printer coming out from every other company is a beige box. It's boring. Get some colors out there, folks. And aluminum panels? It's aluminum, but it's still a lot of plastic in that machine. Still a lot of plastic in that machine. Also, the fact that I can get at everything really easily for repairs. And for the record, again, Core 1.1 has 29 days of print time on it. Core 1.2 has 21 days of print time. Neither have needed any maintenance other than one of them I changed the nozzle of my own accord. So other than nozzle changes, I haven't done any maintenance on either of the Core 1s. I did run the auto belt tune wizard relatively recently on both because they added it relatively recently. But other than that, they are both completely out of the box standard. I haven't done a thing to them, haven't had to do a thing to them. I'm like, what is that in the background? It's the Z rod. I'm like, what is that shiny thing in the back? It's the Z rod. Clean the build plate? Well, yeah, clean the build plate, but I'm talking like maintenance type stuff. 22 days, 3.4 kilograms of filament, 65 kilometers. Let me check. How much is this one? So let me pull up the one that has the most time on it. Print statistics. Okay, so print time, 28 days, 21 hours. Filament, 5.1 kilometers. X-axis, 115 kilometers on the X-axis. The Z has moved almost a kilometer. Moving a kilometer this much at a time. Which model? We're just printing Prusa ASA with the stock ASA settings. We're printing a Voron Stealth Burner front face just for testing. Although, unfortunately, we are not going to finish it before the stream ends. H2D has 1.5 GT belts, so less VFAs. Okay. Print look good. It's not focused at all. I mean, I don't see any VFAs. Or good. Something just fell inside my house. What? Main cam. There we go. Music's back. Index before end of the year. I don't know. You got to talk to Bont Tech about that. I don't know. That's what I have. Yeah, like the bamboos work. Most printers work. I know people that are perfectly fine and happy with their Ender 3s. It's a printer. It's a tool. If it works for you, it works for you. But there's always personal preferences. What fell? The little guy was playing with a box, sliding it down the stairs. Your Voron doesn't work yet? Well, get it working. Get it working. Like my bamboos, but I prefer. I remember, so I have a X1C and a P1S. The P1S I barely used, I'll be honest. I barely used it. It wasn't enclosed. It was one of the, holy shit, we need a cheaper printer for the market. Let's just take the X1, swap the electronics with shittier, cheaper ones, run it off an ESP32 and sell it without panels. That's what the P1S is. It's an X1 with all the components swapped with the cheapest version and no panels. Then they finally found panels for it, so yay. But mine was the one without panels. I barely used it. It was annoying. It was loud. It printed okay. Didn't print any better than my Vorons, and my Vorons were enclosed, so I used that more. My X1 was fine. I had the bed sensor wire fail, and it took me an hour and a half to replace a wire for the bed. Yeah. And then Bamboo started doing shitty business practice stuff I didn't like, so I stopped using them. And I will not promote their products on the stream ever again. Life of, how am I supposed to pronounce it? Life of Alpha Sigma. €10. Cheers and appreciate it. Alpha Sigma. Is that like a 6-7 thing? I don't know. Dude, my little guy, 7, he's in grade 2. He doesn't watch YouTube. He doesn't have a phone. He doesn't watch TikTok. He doesn't watch shorts. He's a good boy. He came home from school the other day and just started going 6, 7. Can't avoid that shit. What the hell? What the hell? It literally means nothing. I figured it out. It's literally is nothing. It's just kids say it to annoy people. It's just a haha. Like at least you know. Back in my day, we had 420 and 6.9. But at least they actually kind of mean something. The kids yearn for the mines. Took me 3 hours to change a damaged belt on my P1P. Yep. Oh, that's the other thing. One of them, I can't remember which one, has a bad bearing in it. And I did not want to deal with it. Make sure you fake juggle. What? I used to be with it. Then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it anymore. And what's it is strange and scary to me. And it'll happen to you too. Like, I like to think I'm more in tune with the youngins because like I'm chronically online. So compared to like other people in my age bracket, I like to think I'm a bit more internet cultured in the memes. But even now I'm starting to be like, holy shit. I got the Fortnite dances. I understood the Fortnite dances. The whole like Riz. I understand Riz. I get Riz. Ohio Gyat. Sigma. Phantom Tax. I understand those concepts. I understand where they 6-7 is like the first thing that I'm like, no. Like, I'm a millennial. I call them doggos. Like, it is what it is. We all have our shame. Wish C1 would show Z leveling residual bed mesh. Started seeing Z leveling retries on some prints of my Core 1. Hooked the USB serial to buddy board to get G29 for, yeah. Interesting. I haven't had any issues on mine. Every now and then mine will do a nozzle cleaning fail, and I'll either just retry it and it works, or I'll ignore it and it works. That's like the only like hiccup I've been having with my Core 1s. Is just the nozzle cleaning routine. And it's never really been an issue because I'll tell a print to start and then like I'll get a pop-up on my phone going like, oh, there's something to check, and I'll check and be like, oh, retry, and it just retries and it works. Or if it doesn't work, I just hit ignore and it moves on and it prints fine. So yeah. I thought it was a 789 joint. I thought the whole 6-7 thing was a 789 choke. I have no idea what language you're speaking. Je parle anglais. Est-ce que tu ne peux parler anglais? Nozzle wiper. I'll be honest. I have not put a nozzle wiper on any printer ever. None of my Vorons have it. None of my DIY printers have it. I've never needed one. I've never needed, and the times that the nozzle cleaning fails, half the time it's because I didn't clean off the little string bit of filament on the bed, or the nozzle was clean anyways, and I don't know why it failed. So like, it's one of those things. Like, I understand why some people really want it, but it's like I just run a retraction at the end of my print that sucks the filament out so it doesn't ooze. And at the beginning of a print, I do a big long purge. And also I do any nozzle probing with the nozzle warm, so it mushes the filament out of the way anyways, and then it just, any little residual bit just gets stuck in the purge. So I've never run a nozzle brush on any printer I've ever built, and I've never had an issue. Yeah, the initial purge, and then you just do a skirt, a quick little skirt just to ensure you're good, and you're good. Hi, Steve. Does the Core 1L have individual control over the Z separate? Nope, they're all tied together. They are all tied together. And it does a bed mesh to tram out any imperfections. Or to mesh out any imperfections. And even with like Peggy, again, the giant Gundam that I have an 85-pound Gundam. I've printed like almost 50 kilograms of filament for it on 4 Prusa printers. It was all PET-G. And I had like a 99% success rate with prints on that. I had 2 or 3 prints outright fail. 2 of them were because support failed. And the other one was it warped off the bed because I needed to clean the bed. So the 2 that failed were pretty much, or the 3 that failed were pretty much like, this could have happened on any printer kind of fails. And that's with Pet G, which is gummy as shit and loves to build up on the nozzle. So the nozzle wiper is a solution for cleaning nozzle cleaning fail. I didn't say you need to wipe your nozzle as a routine for not fail again. I'll be honest, I still don't see it. I get it, and having a nozzle wiper could clean the nozzle, but it also could be a failure point. I've seen nozzle wipers cause failures. So, also the good nozzle wipers are consumable. And again, the way it works the majority of the time. On my Vorons, I don't run nozzle wipers on my Vorons. I've never had an issue. Then again, most of them are running either tap or inductive probes now, so. It's not for cleaning the nozzle. Do I have fancy nozzles in my Core 1? Stock Diamondback. One has a Diamondback. The XL has a hardened nozzle, 3 regulars, and a high flow, I think. That Mark IV has a hardened nozzle. It's a DLC nozzle. The Mark IV downstairs has a hardened nozzle as well, and the Mark IV downstairs with an MMU is a regular nozzle. Or high flow, I can't remember. Is the AC bed faster to heat? Yes, the AC bed does heat up a lot faster. I didn't time it, but it is faster. And then for those wondering, the chamber is still at about 55 Celsius. So it's holding 55 in the chamber according to the chamber thermistor. If you want to know where the chamber thermistor is, it is mounted on the back between the 2 fans right here. The fans are off, by the way, but between the 2 fans is the chamber thermistor. So according to that, it is 55 degrees Celsius in the chamber right now. DLC, most printers come with DLC. Diamond something coating. We have a fleet of Prusas on Makerspace. One of them has 40,000 hours of print time. Nice. Like, I'm of the opinion, if you're spending over a couple $100 on a printer, like, depending on the person and the location, like 400, 500, 600, I'm assuming that this is going to be something you're going to be wanting to be using 5 years from now. That's what I base a lot of my thinking on. So if I'm dropping like $1,000, $1,000+ on a tool, this isn't a tool that I'm going to be expecting to be replacing in the next 5 years. Okay, I buy a lawnmower. I expect to get a decade out of a lawnmower, right? Like my lawnmower is 12 years old. Okay. When I buy a tool over $1,000, I expect to get a lifespan out of that thing. I am not dropping $1,500 on a printer that I expect to be replacing in 2 years. I expect that this will be fully functional 5 years from now. Some brands have really good printers at very good prices, but I will not expect, you know, regular use to see their machine still functioning good 5 years from now. And still in the same state that I bought it. So that's kind of when I look into, like, when I'm thinking about what I buy, what I recommend, it is like, this is a tool that is going to see, for some people, pretty regular use. What is the state of that tool and support for that tool going to be in 5 years? A lot of companies, it's not as bad as it used to be, but when I got into 3D printing, 6 months after a product came out, it was already replaced. And good luck trying to get service or support 2 years after it came out. So, yeah, X1C carbon rods. Yeah, the X1C, let's put a LiDAR in it that is so good that we'll never use it again on any of our other printers. And then we'll put carbon fiber rods in it that are so good that we'll never put in any of our printers. My K1C after 1,200 hours, 3 nozzles, 2 motherboards, and a toolhead board. Oh, geez. Yeah, that is not, no. Like, that's why I say right now, like, honestly, if you're looking to get a 3D printer, either buy the absolute cheapest thing and expect it to be disposable. We're talking like Enders, we're talking Centauri Carbons, the Flashforge Adventure 85. Those machines, in my opinion, are disposable machines. If you're buying that machine, you want a cheap printer that if it breaks, you're okay throwing it out and getting a new one. And then after that, for the average consumer, in my opinion, you're looking at Bamboo or Prusa. I would not trust a $1,500 machine from Creality to last me 5 years of regular use and still be good. There's Prusa, which I expect to be, you know, Prusa put a freaking firmware update out for the Mark II late last year. The Mark II is pretty old, and they put a firmware update for it out last year. So in terms of like, if you came up to me right now and be like, I have $2,000, I need to buy a printer right now, and I need a printer that the printer I buy now will be the only printer I am using for the next 5 years. This is my answer. This or the Core 1 and a bunch of filament. It depends how big a printer you need. Core 1 probably lasts a little bit longer than this one just because it's smaller. Smaller printers have less issues. But the inanimate carbon rod. In rod we trust. Do you need a BCN 3D? I mean, I have a Pantheon back here. You can't see it because it's behind the Core 1. But I have a Pantheon back here. But the Pantheon's not a consumer machine. Even the LED indicator panel failed somehow. Oh, jeez. Like, it really depends. Like, again, though, at the end of the day, do your research. Look at what you need out of the printer. Look at your budget. Get what suits you. Okay? If you're like, hey, this 3D printing thing, it's kind of cool. I think I want to play around with it, but I don't have a need for a 3D printer. And this is a big problem, I think. I think a lot of people right now, because of marketing, are buying 3D printers and they don't need 3D printers. They just see the cool ads and the Flexi Dragons and the little duckies and whatnot. And they're like, oh, I'm gonna buy a printer, and they buy it. They bring it home. They print like a couple Flexi Dragons. They print a few knickknack toys. They print, you know, a baby Groot or two. And then after a couple months, the printer just starts collecting dust. And I think that's a big segment of the market right now. And it's gonna be interesting to see, you know, people that bought the P1S, people that bought, you know, a Centauri Carbon because it was cheap, are they going to be, how many of those are going to be buying a newer printer? Like if you bought a P1S 2 years ago, and it's been fine because you print 1 or 2 things a month, and you bought it with the AMS, you got the combo, what incentive do you have to replace it? Like if you're printing a couple things a month, if that, and the printer is working fine, what incentive do you have to upgrade? Like, other than printers coming now enclosed and having multicolor, multi-material being a little bit more common now with like add-ons like the MMU and the AMS system, the prints that come off this machine, they look as good as the Mark III. They're just, Mark III takes a lot longer. Like, there really hasn't been that big of a difference. We're still printing with PLA mostly. Majority of people still print with PLA. They're still printing random knickknack shit. Like, not much has actually changed in terms of like, there's a lot of new quality of life features out there. Cameras, web interfaces, filament tracking, auto filament rollover. There's a lot of quality of life stuff out there. But again, if you just print a handful of random prints a month, and your printer's working fine, and you spent a couple $100 on it a couple years ago, what incentive do you have to go out and drop another couple $100, $1,000 on the same thing, just incrementally better? So now, if you're using a printer for work, for school, for hobby, if you're into FPV and you print a lot of stuff in TPU, extruders have gotten a lot better with flexible filaments and whatnot. You know, the next extruder is amazing at it and whatnot. So, oh yeah, there's definitely incentives there, especially with the enclosed materials, wanting to print stuff like PPS and whatnot, the higher temps and whatnot. There are incentives for people out there. But I'm talking about the person that bought a 3D printer because they saw the marketing where it's like, I could print my own toys, and they just print a random knickknack every couple of weeks. So it's gonna be really interesting. It's gonna be really interesting. I'm not saying like the 3D printer, consumer 3D printer market is a bubble, but I'm like, a lot of people bought a printer over the last 2 years. Will they ever, how many of them are gonna be buying another printer? So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Do you like the new Core 1L spool holder? It's fine. It's a spool holder. I think it holds the spool a bit more secure than the stock Core 1 spool holder. And also, if you want to swap it out for a bigger one, you just replace this doohickey with a longer doohickey. Or if you wanted to put an NFC reader in this doohickey, you would put an NFC reader in this doohickey, and it just locks in. So I'm hoping somebody has the files for that and they can just extend it to fit a 2 kilogram spool. That would be really nice. Because actually that would be nice, because if you just swap out the thing and you just keep them both nearby, because with the 1 kilogram spool, you don't want it like drifting out. You don't want it drifting out. So it would be nice to have like the 2 kilogram spool if you could just swap it out if you're doing 2 kilogram or 1 kilogram. You just lock, unlock, and swap. Because also, if your printers are really close to each other, right? So if you got a 2 kilogram spool and you had a spool that can hold a 2 kilogram spool, you need 4 kilograms of width. Versus with this system where you can unlock it, you can just kind of put your 2 kilogram in and then just come in there and lock it in place. So this actually needs less room when you have multiple printers next to each other. It's actually a good idea now. I'm liking this a bit more now. I'm liking that a bit more, because if you have your Core 1s next to each other, if you had a 2 kilogram spool holder, you have the 2 kilogram spool holder, and then it needs to be, you gotta go, versus you just go, and then you just, I think somebody was cooking. Somebody cooked here. You need at least 2 kilogram. Yeah, but if you had a 2 kilogram spool holder, then it would need the 2 kilogram spool holder. You need the width for the spool holder itself, and then you also need the width for the filament, because, do I have a 2 kilogram spool somewhere? I mean, it's not 2 kilograms, but it's 1.6, but it's wider, right? So you need your spool holder sticks out, and then you got to put the filament next to it and then slide it onto the spool holder. But if you get a system where you just kind of like put it in and then you just kind of lock, that takes up less room. You can put the printers closer to each other. Somebody's cooking. Somebody's cooking there. Somebody's cooking there. Somebody was cooking. How much time we got left? Oh, we got 12 minutes left. If you have not entered for your chance to win some Polymaker filament, link in the video description. Enter for your chance. Go down there at the end of stream. In 12 minutes, we're gonna be doing the giveaway. And then I gotta figure out what to make it for dinner for the family. So go down there, enter for your chance, win some filament. While you're down there, don't forget to like the smash button, subscribe if you're not subscribed, ring the bell. So you get notifications when I go live stream 3 days a week. And then if you want to help support the channel, content I create, things I do, consider becoming a channel member, Patreon supporter. I think I already said that, but check out the affiliate links. Don't cost you anything extra. Go a long way in supporting the channel. Go buy some gamer subs, use code Canuck, save some money. And if you are interested in a Prusa, Prusa is having their Black Friday sale right now. So Prusa Mint, I think, is also on sale, maybe. But Prusa's having their Black Friday sale. I do have a link to the Prusa website. It is an affiliate link. Or if you just want to pick up a Core 1L. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any deals on the Core 1L for Black Friday. It is a new product. It is what it is. Next stream tomorrow. Hopefully this will be on the shelf. If not, we're going to be putting it on the shelf. Or actually, yeah, we'll probably be putting this on the shelf tomorrow, so I got to make some room that I can get this off this workbench and actually onto the shelf so that we can actually use it for stuff. It's got to print all the parts for a Delta printer we're going to be building. This is going right into production. I'm putting this right into production, printing ABS parts. And then we're going to be doing tuning on the Venture XL. We're going to try the shake and tune stuff to see if we can get that working so that I can actually print prints on it that don't look like dog poop, because this looks like dog poop and I don't like it. Because I don't know why the Venture XL just does not want to print good. It's just printed like dookie. The XL, my XL has been really good to me so far, I'll be honest. My XL has been very good to me so far. I only print PLA and PETG on it because I don't have it enclosed. But my XL has done tens of thousands of tool changes, no issue. Like, I've had a couple issues on it, but most of them were like, oh, it shifted because, you know, a print warped or something and it caught the tool head. Like, issues that can happen to every printer kind of thing. Keel Nick 13. Cheers for becoming a channel member. You know what I'm actually really disappointed about right now? You know what I'm really disappointed about? You know what today is? Who knows what today is? There's going to be a couple game nerds in chat who might know. What is today? What is today? What is today? Philin got it. It's November 7th. It's N7 day. It's Mass Effect day, right? I'm currently playing through the trilogy again. Because I play through it every couple years. So I'm playing through the trilogy again. And I'm after binging the hell out of Baldur's Gate, it's like the only game that I've realized that kind of scratches that same itch for like a party good story RPG type game, right? Where like you actually interact with your party and your choices actually matter somewhat. You know, which color is your favorite? But anyways, long story short, I'm playing through it again and I'm like, they announced the sequel to Mass Effect. They announced a new one years ago. They teased it and they haven't said a damn thing since. And now EA got bought out by a Saudi investment firm and I have no hopes for it. So I am like, this is like the director of the new Mass Effect game. Like something, give us something, damn it. Give us something. Give us something. Mass Effect 1 to 3. Well, to be fair, there's only been 4 games. There's Mass Effect 1 to 3 and then Andromeda. And out of the 4 Mass Effect games, Andromeda is in the top 4. So. No, BioWare was bought by EA, who basically corporatized it and made it suck. Cough, cough, Anthem, cough. And even their new, what was their latest game? The Dragon Age game bombed. That bombed. So I'm like, there's also Mass Effect on the iPad. Yeah, that don't count. Yeah, the dev team rollover. It's not that hard. Did they fix Andromeda? They put out a bunch of patches for it, and the game's actually apparently not that bad. The problem is it's one game out of that was meant to be a series, so the story doesn't really have a full conclusion. And because it's a spin-off, it has nothing to do with any of the main Mass Effect. So it doesn't have any of the characters we like. It's just kind of its own thing that takes place over there. So it doesn't really affect anything. So it's like, eh. So. Yeah, they never made any DLC for it. They never made any, they never made the sequels for it because it just kind of, it sucked. Yeah, EA got bought by private equity. Yeah, so. Although I will say it is pretty cool seeing everyone's N7 armor. This is like one of those suits I do want to make one day, is an N7 suit. But private equity, yep. The reason I got out of the mold industry, my company got bought out by a foreign investment firm. Went to shit. Stream keeps pausing. Nothing on my end. I got nothing going on my end. So, does this print use supports or any of the bridge? Nope. It's a Voron part. All Voron parts are designed to either not require supports, and anything that does need support, it's built in. So there is some bridge that you need to cut away for some of the tabs to work, but this print is literally load file print. What did Gerald say? Is the satin sheet good for ABS ASA? The sateen sheet is my go-to sheet. Personally, I'm a big fan of textured PI. The finer the texture, the better. I've had the best luck with the fact that Prusa now has 300mm satin beds. And then when they sent me this printer, they sent me extra beds. These are going on Vorons. I think this one's a sticker though. Yeah, so this one is a sticker. So this is just a regular sticker 300 bed. And then I did. And then this one is satin. So this one's going on a Voron. So yeah, they're 300mm. They'll fit on a Voron now. So yeah, it's going right on that V2. Because that V2 is going to get a box turtle and a Jabberwocky toolhead at some point. Okay, we got 2 minutes left before we do the giveaway, so enter for your chance. Do this now. What if it were just a bit of a gap on the sides? Well, yeah. Actually, how big are these beds? Let me pull one out and actually double check. I want to see what the actual dimensions of the bed are. Because, yeah, it's a 300mm bed, but is it 300? Or is it like 305? Tape measure, tape measure. Where did I put my tape measure? Oh, here it is. Okay. So the bed itself is 305 millimeters on the X. So 305 on the X. And then not counting the tabs in the front and the back, it's 305 on the Y. So the bed itself is 300 by 300. And then you have this little bit back here with the two tabs and then the tab in the front. So the bed itself is a 305 by 305. So that's good to know. So let's see, Prusa 3D, parts and accessories, print sheets. Do they have, they don't have Core 1L yet. I want to see how much the sheets are. Core 1, what are they? Core 1, they don't have Core 1L. 3D printers, Core 1. No, Core 1L. Is there a link to accessories, downloads, reviews? Log in to add a review. Oop. I mean, that's my business email, whatever. Add review. It's good. It's good. There are no parts with the one. Yeah. Just under accessories and yeah. Yeah, there's no Core 1L bed yet. Like, oh wait. Basic package includes, it's not a link to it. Yeah. Does the printer? Okay, so there is no official reader for the open tag system yet. There is an NFC reader on the printers, but it's on the back of the printers. It's meant for like Wi-Fi setup. So either they have an add-on board that has a separate NFC reader built in and it plugs into the main board, because there's still accessible GPIO pins, or there's still accessible CAN bus on most of the boards. So either there's an add-on board, or you get a NFC reader with a longer cable and move the one that's on the back to the side or something. Because unfortunately, having to scan your spool behind the printer every time you print is not viable for somebody like me, whose printers are on a shelf with no access from behind. So the open tag system came out, is developed after the design of the printers, unfortunately. So it's a chicken or egg thing. So they're gonna have dev kits later. Right now, you can just scan it with your phone just to check info. But like, it's getting the system up and then filling out the features kind of thing. So anyways, let's do the giveaway, because I gotta make dinner for the family. And yeah. Link to sheet. If you didn't enter, you will have another chance tomorrow. Tomorrow is just gonna be a fun little print and chill stream while we try and figure out why my Venture XL prints like poop. And also, just so you're aware, Polymaker is doing a big sale right now on their filament, up to 45% off. So if you want to get some Polymaker filament, because you didn't win it tonight, because you are going to win though tonight. You are going to win tonight. But for everyone else, if you just want to get some Polymaker filament and save a bunch of money, I do have an affiliate link for it in the video description. It won't cost you anything extra, and you will save a lot on some Polymaker filament right now. Okay, what do we got? 303. Good number. Random. Ooh, this is a new map. I didn't click bots. Shoot. I didn't click bots, I don't think. Yeah, I didn't click box. Main menu, go back. Okay, race. Which map was that? Which map was that? I want to do that map. I haven't done that map yet. Or was it? I hit random and it wasn't there. Where is it? Oh. And names 303 finish random. Where did it go? I haven't done that map yet. I want to do that map. Yeah, let's do this one. 303. There we go. I have a complaint for Polymaker giveaway I won a while ago. I selected fiber on PET and it sent me PLA without any expansion. Bit sad. Open a ticket with them. That is something, unfortunately, I have like no control over. That is an error on their part. I would reach out to them and see if they can get it corrected. Because if you ordered a specific filament and you got a different filament, somebody screwed up and they need to know about that. So how this works is if you win, you get a spool of filament from Polymaker. But if you are this ball right here, who is this ball right here? Jody C, if you win, you will get a free hat along with your spool of filament. Good luck. Exclamation mark zoom zoom makes your ball go faster. Exclamation mark gullible makes everyone else go slower. Like the smash button, ring the bell, and be subscribed to the channel. And actually, it won't do anything, but it might make everyone else's ball but yours go ever so slightly slower. I don't know for sure. The universe works in mysterious ways, but are you really going to risk it? Oh. Charwall is in the lead. Are you sure the A14? It should. It should. We're printing PLA at 200 degrees Celsius and I slow the speeds down for the outer walls and it still looks like poop. So. Oh, there's a fit. Oh, that's right. This one has like the weird whirlpool thing. Oh, who was it? WPA09. Hopefully that's a real person. WPA09. Let me pull it up here. WPA09. Is that a real person? Yep, that works. That's a real person with a real answer. So congratulations, Willie Pete. You have won yourself a spool of filament from Polymaker. You will get an email from me after the stream ends with information on how to collect your filament. Golf claps in chat. That was a quick one. Yeah, that was a quick one, but it's actually kind of good because I ran a little longer than I wanted to today, and I have to go make dinner, and I am starving. So there we go. Okay, so we are going to call it there. No video on the channel this weekend, unfortunately. I was hoping to do a video on the Core One itself and all the upgrades I've done to it. I did do a lot of cool upgrades, but unfortunately it's printing like poop. So we have to get the printer printing not like poop, because I don't know about you, if I put out a video going, I upgraded my printer with all these cool add-ons and accessories and mods from Big Tree Tech, and this has nothing to do with Big Tree Tech, the printer still prints like poop, that would be a very not good video. So hopefully we can get it fixed tomorrow night. So tomorrow is going to be a bunch of tweaking, tuning, and taking some advice and playing with printer profiles and testing and whatnot. Yeah, it printed like poop before the fix. I was hoping this fix would make it not print like poop anymore. And it's still a print like poop. Speaking of poop, I got to end the stream. Okay, we're calling it there. Shout out to Polymaker for the spool filament giveaway this stream and every stream. Huge shout out to Prusa for providing the Core One L here. For this video, this stream. You will be seeing this on the channel quite a bit in the future because it's going to be added to my repertoire of commonly used printers most likely. And we are going to go right into printing a full set of parts for a printer build on this printer. Like this is going right into use. So links in the video description, affiliate links don't cost you anything extra, go a long way in supporting the channel. Check them out. A bunch of companies are doing Black Friday sales right now. Use code Canuck and some of them like Gamer Subs, save some money. And for those that donate to the channel, gifted membership subs, or became members of the channel yourself, I thank you. Would not be able to do the things I do, create the content I create without your continued support. You make it all possible. I'm Taylor, Canuck Creator. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye. I hit the wrong button.